A woman receives a message from her father. He wishes her happy birthday. He asks how work is going. He references a joke he used to tell when she was a child. The message feels familiar, comforting, ordinary. There is only one problem. Her father died 3 years ago. The message was generated by an artificial intelligence trained on thousands of his texts, emails, voice recordings, and social media posts. The words are not his, yet somehow they sound like him. And that raises a disturbing question. If the dead can still speak, have they really left? Welcome to the strange root. Behind every new technology, every modern ritual of grief, and every attempt to preserve a human life beyond death, lies a deeper story about memory, absence, and humanity's growing refusal to let silence have the final word. Today, we uncover the strange root of digital afterlives. For most of human history, death created a clear boundary. A person died, their voice disappeared, their presence faded, only memories remained. The internet changed that. Today, millions of social media accounts belong to people who are no longer alive. Their photographs remain online, their messages remain searchable. Their birthdays still appear in notifications. Friends continue posting comments years after their deaths. Some profiles become digital shrines, places where the living gather to mourn, remember, and maintain a connection to someone who is gone. At least, that used to be the limit. Artificial intelligence has introduced something entirely new. Companies now offer services that create chatbots trained on a person's digital history. Old text messages, emails, voice recordings, videos, social media posts. The results can be startling. The chatbot remembers favorite phrases, repeats familiar jokes, offers advice in a recognizable voice. Some people describe the experience as comforting. Others find it deeply unsettling, because for the first time in history, the dead can appear to answer back. Not through memory, not through imagination, but through software. At first glance, this seems like a technological revolution. In reality, it belongs to a much older story. Humans have always searched for ways to preserve the dead. Ancient Egyptians built tombs, families commissioned portraits, Victorian mourners preserved locks of hair. Ancestors were remembered through rituals, shrines, and stories. Every generation developed its own method. The tools changed. The desire remained. The desire to keep someone present after they are gone. Digital afterlives are simply the newest chapter in that ancient struggle. This leads to a strange philosophical question. Suppose an AI remembers everything your father ever wrote. It speaks in his style, uses his favorite expressions, recalls family stories, makes the same jokes. What exactly is missing? Most people answer immediately. The real person, consciousness, the inner self. Yet consciousness cannot be seen, which creates an unsettling situation. The simulation may feel real even when we know it is not. The brain responds emotionally, the heart responds emotionally, and the boundary between memory and imitation begins to blur. Like many human fears, grief has become a marketplace. Companies increasingly offer digital memorial services, voice reconstruction, interactive avatars, AI companions modeled after the deceased. The promise is rarely immortality. The promise is continuity, a way to soften loss, a way to delay goodbye. The technology may be new, the emotional appeal is ancient. Humans have always been willing to pay dearly for anything that promises relief from absence. At first glance, digital afterlives appear to be a story about technology. Look closer. They are really a story about absence. Death has always meant silence. the empty chair, the unanswered message, the voice that never returns. For most of human history, there was no way around that reality. People mourned, remembered, and eventually learned to live with the silence. Today, something has changed. We now use servers, algorithms, and artificial intelligence to soften that absence, to create the impression that someone is still there, still speaking, still listening, still part of the world, not because death has been defeated, but because technology can imitate presence, and humans are remarkably sensitive to presence, even simulated presence. We turn social media into graveyards, code into ghosts, data into something that resembles memory made visible. The dead no longer need to disappear completely. They can linger as profiles, as voices, as interactive echoes, as fragments that continue moving through the lives of the living. This may be one of the strangest developments in human history. For thousands of years, humans preserved memories of the dead. Now we are attempting to preserve interactions with them. The goal is no longer simply remembrance. It is continuity, a way to keep the connection alive, a way to delay goodbye. The question is no longer whether we can save fragments of a person's life. The question is whether we are still willing to let them go. Because at its core, digital afterlives are not really about technology. They are about our refusal to accept silence. We build digital ghosts because true finality feels unbearable. We preserve messages, voices, and personalities because we cannot easily accept disappearance. The dead no longer need to fully vanish. They can remain suspended somewhere between memory and simulation. And that may be one of the most unsettling consequences of the digital age. Because the real strange root is not artificial intelligence. It is our growing unwillingness to accept that some silences are permanent, that some absences cannot be filled, and that some conversations must eventually end. If this exploration into grief, technology, and humanity's struggle against silence made you reflect on memory and loss, subscribe to The Strange Root and join us as we continue uncovering the hidden forces shaping human behavior. Until next time, take care and stay curious.